Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all you wonderful people. Welcome to What's Up 200 and I've lost touch. 89? I think it's 89. As you can see, I'm not racing today, but it is League Race Stage 10. We're on the Surrey Hills, and what I've done is used our Wheel of Wonder, which normally provides magnificent gifts for viewers. I've used it to select a random rider to be the focus of today's race, and that person is none other than Martijn Prop. So as soon as this race starts, I'm going to have to click on Mr. Prop, and we will follow him as though I am him. And I think in the spirit of that, I should probably get all his points as well. It's good to see so many of you here. I was expecting an even lower turnout than we've got, given that for one half of the world this is sort of 4 o'clock in the morning. But it's great to see you here, those that have arrived. I've not got my normal go juice. I've got a nice frothy sort of latte cum cappuccino. I make this myself, so I'm not quite sure what it is. It's more milk than a cappuccino, so I'd say it's a... Oh, hang on a second. Bye, darling. Have fun. Drive carefully. Sorry, Mrs. Neal's off to... Love you. Mrs. Neal's off to do some Christmas shopping, while I get to sit here in my Where's Wally pyjamas. Nice thick hoodie, coffee, race to watch. All's good. Right, I'm going to have to put this down so that as soon as the race does start, which it's about to do in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. Have fun, everyone. Have a good race. Right, I've got to try and find Martijn Prop. Why can I not click on... Oh, here we go. Oh, it's horribly laggy. Horribly laggy. Martin, what category are you in? I can't remember. Oh, balls, that's going to make it even harder to find you. Right, let's just flick through everyone for the time being. Aha, there we go. There is Martin. D category. Oh, it really is laggy today. What is that all about? Do you know what? I was semi-tempted to jump on this and actually do the race for the purpose of... No, I'm not going to. For the purpose of just picking up a crap load of points, because it looked like nobody was going to turn up. But we've got 112 people here, which is absolutely phenomenal. So, well done, everyone. I've just realised you can see now what my hair's like prior to going through the professional hair and makeup department that we have here at WKG Towers. This is my just got out of bed look. Right, so Martin has made a very strong start here, bunching up with the likes off Mr. D, I am Gert, G, H Jespers, Clampy's there, one of the Trilks, can't tell which one that is. I'm going to guess at Maria, because I think I can see her pink cap, or does Paul wear that as well? Oh dear. Henriksen, I think, is just ahead. Martin Overweg, Dave Harmsworth, just a little bit further back. So, yeah, Martin in a really strong bunch here. Dave Crook's there. Right, so just coming through the tunnels, out of the city of London, into the beautiful Surrey Hills, which won't seem so beautiful. The biggest problem I always have with this particular route is, I can't remember if it's at the lead-in or at the end, but there's basically one hill that I just never account for. So when you think you've counted up the hills in your head, Keith Hill, Leith Hill, Box Hill, Fox Hill, there seems to be one more, and I think it's because you do Keith Hill or Leith Hill twice, sort of once in the lead-in before the actual official route has even started, but I might be wrong. Right, we're hitting the hills now, and that gave an opportunity for the likes of Paul Elliott Kowalczyk, Martin Overweg to all get back on terms with our featured man, Mr. Prop, who's actually having a really good dig here to make sure he stays in the wheels of those guys. He's just gone past Martin Overweg. I need to check the league table because I can't remember exactly where Martin is in the league in the Ds, but I've got a feeling it's a pretty strong fight up at the top there with Martin, Stephen, Nadia's up there. But the group of C's that Martin was with started stretching their legs a little bit. Let's spin around and see if we can get a better look at where everyone is on the course. Look at this long train of riders going all the way up. I can see a Team Type 1 jersey's just gone past Martin there. That's Jane. If you haven't checked it out yet, while Jane's on the screen, as a reminder, she's doing a brilliant blog of her in real life. Well, I say it's hers. It's actually more focused around her cat, Pi, which is the cutest looking cat you'll ever likely to see. And it's sort of write-ups on some in real life riding and adventures she's been on. Throws in the league races in there as well. But it's a really interesting read. I apologise that I've not gone through all of it yet because I've been a bit distracted and catching up with things since obviously I died momentarily. But yeah, check it out. It's in the WKG group Facebook forum, so go and check it out. It's a really interesting read. I love those sort of things. It's always great to get an insight into the real world lives of our team members, because you are more than just avatars, you lot. Some of you. Watching Martin here as he slugs up this 10%. Stephen Moon coming up behind him. Martin, you need to get yourself on one of the cat races. Unlock the team kit, my friend. I do like the kit you're wearing. It goes really nicely with that wicked lime green Cannondale that you're rocking down there. But yeah, we need to get you in orange. Who else is this coming up? P. Verterman. Powering up 3.5 watts per kilogram. Or one of my old nemesises, Alan Hughes, coming through now as well. Is he going to just sit on Martin's wheel? Yeah, there we go. Martin having a really strong dig at this point, around this 9% bend. I see Andrew Lawrence just 8 seconds ahead. Scopping, 12 seconds. Sandwiching J Park. And S is just 1 second off here as well. So I'm expecting her to use this group and pace herself in this first climb or two. And I wouldn't be surprised if I see her chasing down the likes of Andrew Lawrence, Jane Coates further up ahead later on in the race. Oh, hello. Oh. Sorry, Obi's just jumped up on me because I'm in my comfy spot on the sofa. And Obi, usually sits right there. Right, he's on my lap. I'll tip the camera down so you can see him for a second. That's how I spend most of my days when I'm trying to work, and I have this rug of a dog sprawled across my lap. Oh, by the way, I found my hat, and after Mrs. Neal insisting she hadn't put it in the wash, guess where I found it? That's right, bottom of the washing cupboard. I'm just going to look up the league table so I can give a real-time indication of what the point situation is going to be here, because I think the main contenders in D, let me just check. Oh, of course, Peter Robinson. Well, how can I forget Peter? I've not seen Peter in the race yet. I'll check in a moment to see if he is there. But yeah, at the moment we've got Martin Overweg is top of the Ds. Let me just get the points situation. Yeah, Martin Overweg 297.5, Stephen Moon 257. And where have we got? Maybe Martin's not even actually registered as a league racer. No. So that makes the points situation irrelevant, unless you're not actually. Have you gone in the wrong category? I never thought you were. I'll be honest, I didn't think you were a D. No, can't see you there. Right, so Martijn Prop isn't actually a registered league rider, so this is actually just a one-off race that he's fighting for, unless he's set up his own mini league, which I know a lot of you have done, which is always a good idea. But in the league, in the D category, which is where we're focusing today, at the moment, it looks like our current leader, Martin Overweg, I think is actually leading the Ds in this race as well. I can see, I can see a yellow dot further up on the mini-map, which indicates there is another D rider up there. So I'm going to go and jump up. Just have a look. Oh, it's J Park. There we go. Right, sorry, Obi's barking. Hang on. Right, just going to interrupt this recording because there was a massive box delivered from Amazon this morning, which I thought was for my son. I was in the loo while Emma was signing for it. He's just come home and told me, no, this is actually for me. I've not ordered anything, certainly not anything this big, so I'm now scared. So I'm going to have to try and, I'll take myself away from camera for a second because I've got a feeling, in addition to some magnificent gifts that I've been sent while I've been ill, I'll go on about that in a minute, but I mean, just blown away by you lot, I really have been. I've got a feeling whatever this box is, it's probably something to do with one of you lot. Oh, it's kind of heavy. Right, hang on a second, I'm going to be out of shot for just 1 second. Keep an eye on Martin for me. Right, it wasn't from any of... Oh, hang on. Right, it wasn't from any of you lot, but my God, it's the most amazing sort of luxury hamper thing from my dad. Wow, what an amazing surprise. Anyway, that's should be of no interest to any of you, but it's massive. It's huge. Oh my God, oh, I'm going to enjoy that. Right, that's my Christmas sorted. Food, cheese and wine wise, I'd imagine, looking at it. Bloody hell. Anyway, I don't have them to hand, and I'm now out of breath just from unboxing that hamper, so I'm not going to go and get them in now, but some of the gifts I got, seriously, I know you lot know I'm a bit of a crybaby anyway, but I think I was feeling particularly emotional. But there are a couple of things that I received in the post this last week that genuinely brought me to tears, and my wife thinks I'm a soppy twat because of it, but it was actually just the clearly the thought process behind you guys doing these things was just incredible. I've actually resisted giving one person in particular that hasn't sent anything, but it's Ardith Grasso, who messaged me asking for my address. I have seen your message, Ardith, and I haven't replied because I don't want to give you my address, because I really don't want you sending me anything. I've been incredibly spoiled and so touched. I appreciate every single one of these things that comes through, but unless you're sending large chunks of money into my bank account, just please buy yourself stuff, buy yourself some treats to enjoy the Christmas period. Please don't send me any more stuff. Kick a bike, obviously, I'm not going to turn it away, but no. So Ardith, if you do watch this by any chance, that's why I didn't reply to your message, because I'm not giving you, I don't want you sending me anything. Right, where was I? Right, back to Martin. Where are you on course? Well, it's levelling off nicely for him now. He's got Martin Overweg, who is out. That's what I was doing, I was looking at the league table. It's Martin Overweg, who's currently the leaders of the D category, with actually a pretty healthy lead, points-wise, over Peter Robinson. So he's got 22 points over Peter, who's about another 20 points ahead of Stephen Moon, who's about another 20 points ahead of Gordon Sloan, with Steve Tinman Newton and Nadia Mentz right on Gordon's tail. Since I am solely blaming Gordon Sloan for my current health issues, I really hope Steve and Nadia can overhaul him and kick his ass, because I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say me having to chase that hard to try and stay with and beat Gordon Sloan in the Richmond race basically killed me. I died for a while. I think it's the longest time in history that somebody's actually been like confirmed medically dead and then come back to life again, particularly to do it without any serious brain damage afterwards. So I am a medical marvel. So come on Tin Man, come on Nadia, go and get Gordon. Martin just put in a really strong kick, I saw, just to Martin Overweg, that is, just to come past Martin Prop, but the Propster, or Prop Monster as he was nicknamed at the beginning of this race, has just pulled back ahead. So we've got Scopping 18 seconds up the road, Kay Taylor, Aginagale and Andrew Lawrence, they're all 21, and Paul Elliott Kowalczyk, all 21 seconds up the road. A little bit further back I can see Alan Hughes and Anne S just on the tail of this group, with Mike Berger on Stephen Moon 7-8 seconds back. Sorry about the noise in the background, by the way. I keep forgetting to mute the TV, which is on in the background. Oops, just moved the camera as well. I forget the camera's on the top of my MacBook. I don't know why it's so laggy today, but it might be. I'll show you. I've got I'm using my iPad as a second screen for the OBS software. So I'm wondering if that's the cause of this. Very useful function, by the way, with an iPad Pro, if anyone's got one, but it does look like with Zwift in particular, makes it a bit laggy. Just getting sight of a couple of the other DCAT racers. We've got Ernst Leckies, Mike Bergerod now in screen, on the timing screen. So I'm going to guess that that is Martin Overweg just behind this group, and then the two just a little bit further down on that bend will be Ernst Leckies and Mike Bergerod. And Stephen Moon just a couple of seconds further off those guys. So we're grinding up the bricked section of Leith Hill. Got Anne S just in front, Alan Hughes just in front of Anne. Can't see who that is behind. Let's wait for the name to scroll through. It's someone from KISS, EVR, ZHR, CLS, Pack. Crikey, no wonder I couldn't see the name. Right, that's someone that is involved in every... L. Cox, there we go. We got to the shortest name for the longest number of abbreviations. Ernst Lecky's just 3 seconds behind. A Pala 11 along with Paul Elliott Kowalczyk. O Herculen is at 13 seconds, just 1 second now ahead of Martin Overweg. This is a really strong climb from Martijn Prop here. Looking to do the business in the D category, even if it doesn't mean league points. I love to see that kind of commitment to the racing, even if, like I say, it doesn't result in points on the table. I'll try and do a better job next year of promoting the registration for the league and the closing dates, because I'm still getting maybe 15-20 requests every week to register with the official league Strava group, and I feel really mean. I've got this long list of pending requests, but the date was the date. I can't be flexible on that. But yeah, next time I'll just try and make it a little bit clearer, particularly to those of you that have raced every round and are aware that it's not for league points, but have just sort of stuck with it anyway, which is absolutely brilliant. But it would be great to actually get you involved in the league officially next time out. Sorry, I'm really mumbling and waffling. I did pre-warn you, didn't I? This is going to be a bit of a crappy, scrappy, not my usual slick standard of race vlog. Speaking of leagues, though, hopefully in January, Zwift will allow us to schedule a regular, what I'm thinking is going to be a Tuesday night Crit City race, the Critty Critty Bang Bang. I'm on the fence about the distance at the moment because there are two schools of thought. One is to go really short, quick blast, kind of like the mini crit, because nobody else seems to be doing that at the moment. But the other argument, which I'm actually now leaning towards, is we already have the mini crit, so why do that again? Why not make this one a longer sort of 14-15 lap of Crit City, longer medium crit race sort of size. And I think we'll probably try and set up a league table from it as well, so completely separate to the main racing league, but basically the Critty Critty Bang Bang league table. So I'll do a poll to see which race length people would prefer. Then we'll take it from there. The time slot that I've suggested to Zwift, because we need to find a slot that's not overly congested, is 1950 GMT, so 7:50 PM British time on Tuesdays, every Tuesday. So fingers crossed we can get that slot or thereabouts. The other thing, I'm really gutted because I wanted to start this on Friday the 13th, but we have a 7 o'clock Friday, 7 o'clock PM slot for Road Grand Tours to try and mix things up so we can do races on their mountain stages. I mean, that's the appeal for me. I mentioned this, I think, in a previous video or one of the live streams, but this isn't by any means a replacement for Zwift, but it adds another dimension to be able to get the same group of riders, you know, 50, 60 WKGers all racing around Stelvio or up Von 2 or something. I mean, that's just, how amazing would that be? So where I've been ill and playing catch up, nothing happened. So I saw a brilliant video that John, by the way, put on the forum the other day, which is like a promo video for Road Grand Tours, and I think he suggested in there we'll look to do our first race sort of early January. So that'd be brilliant. We'll try and get the wheels in motion for that. That said, that kind of clashes with the start of the virtual NC 500, which I'm looking to start on the 2nd of January. But there's nothing to say we can't include Road Grand Tours in the mileage for the NC 500, the VNC 500. So anyway, I'll go into that more another time. More importantly, Anne S and Martijn Prop are closing in on the banner at the top of Leaf Hill. Really, really solid climb. You can see Alan Hughes has managed to stretch his legs just slightly. There's a key here, which I always fail on miserably, but if you manage to take a couple of second lead coming into the top of these climbs, that can very, very easily be a 20-30 second lead by the time you get to the bottom of the descent on the other side of it. So Alan very intelligently and strategically looks like he's just managed to gap Anne and Martin to take a little bit of a lead over the top of the climb. We'll see what that translates to when they get to the bottom. Andrew Lawrence and Simon Copping stretched out now, 45 seconds ahead of Mr. Prop here, or yeah, 52 seconds now. So they've obviously, like I say, they've gone over the top, so you see that gap extending very quickly. Going back a little bit, we've got Kay Taylor right here with Anne and Martin. Then we have, I think it was L Kim, this never-ending name. A Pala, 3 and 5 seconds. Then we've got Ernst Leckies at 10 seconds with Martin Overweg at 19 seconds. And there we go. There is the KOM banner. Still got to keep pedaling for a little bit before you can take a proper rest. It's leveled off nicely, but certainly not negative gradient enough for you to ease off the power at this point. I'm really distracted by this massive hamper that's just out of my the corner of my eye here. Just want to dig into it, but I'm going to have to wait for you sods to finish your race before I can go and crack into the cheese and crackers and whatever else is in there. It's like a real sort of luxury job. It looks amazing. Thanks, Dad. You're the last person on the planet that's likely to ever watch these videos, but if you do, thank you very much. I think the main reason I was scared to open that box is it's a big box and it's very heavy, and I think the first thought that came to my mind was that it was a load of goat food for Pookie. So I think that's what was worrying me. Oh, I must go and visit Pookie. In fact, yeah, maybe over the Christmas holiday I'll try and take a trip down there with a little present for Pookie. I don't know, a nice carrot or something, I don't know. Right, here's that descent then, and as I mentioned, look at that. Alan Hughes now nearly a minute ahead, mainly by virtue of coming over the top, 7 or 8 seconds ahead of Martin and Anne. It does close back up again a little bit when you get to the bottom and things flatten out, but there's a lot of ground that can be made up purely by getting over the top of a climb first. You can see Jane Coates there now 3.5 minutes ahead with Ericsson right behind her. Andrew Lawrence now 3 minutes ahead. Who's that just ahead of Andrew? Oh yeah, called Simon Copping. So again, the gap's slightly exaggerated by this descent, but there's the proof of the effectiveness of that tactic. Make a break for it for the top of a climb, fly away over the other side. I don't know what's going on up at the front there, but I could see Le Q then was at sort of 12 watts per kilogram. Let's just jump forward and have a quick look. See what the situation is. He's currently in the lead with Zaremba right in his wheel. I don't know what the distance is on this. I can't remember exactly where they finish. Let's give LeCue a ride on while we're here. But this is looking like a really exciting battle. Putting out some serious power. I keep seeing orange numbers from LeCue. Just check the league table, because I think, again, LeCue might well be at the top of the A category. Indeed he is. So, Monsieur LeCue, 286 points, 286.5 points, 10 points ahead of Brian Roden, who is 15 points ahead of Giles Blundred. And I can't see, doesn't mean to say they're not here, but I can't see either Brian or Giles anywhere near LeCue at the moment. So this is looking like a very healthy haul of points. Zaremba is not a registered league rider, so LeCue's not in danger of losing any points there, but I'm sure he'll still like to win this race anyway. What a lovely feeling that must be. First out of 112 riders. One day I'll feel that. When I enter the OAP's league, I say that. I'm pretty sure most of the people ahead of me in the C category are actually older than me anyway. I think there's still some distance to go in this race. If I'm not wrong, is it about 40 kilometres? I should know. So I made the flyer and put all the details out. The kid is smashing it. He's not resting here. He's jumping up into sort of 9 watts per kilogram, 8 watts per kilogram. I mean, his closest threat league-wise, I can see. There is Maxim Golev, but he's 2 minutes 20 behind. Right, we'll come back to that. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll tell you what, given that I do have the freedom to jump around a little bit, there's Yves Linares, let's give him a ride on. There is Maxim Golev, sitting right in Yves' wheel. There is Brian Roden. Okay, so Brian is in this race, but LeCue has got a huge advantage. Right, so here is Simon Romain. Looks like he's head of the Bs. Where are we? He is currently 5th in the league on 222 points, but it looks like he's winning this race at the moment. His main competitors, well, Wilts Rider is top of the league. Then we have John Bytheway, not far off Wilts Rider, just 6 points behind. Olav Rostad, who's about 30 points behind John, just a couple of points ahead of Paul Sturgis. And then we've got Simon Romain on 222. Akibot is just 3 points behind. I can't see Mr. Ott there in this bunch, so I'll have a look out for that in a minute. The other threats to Simon points wise, Hans-Petter Summerson, James Crocombe, they're all within 10 points of Akim. So we'll go and have a look. I can see Giles Blundred, by the way. He is in this race, so he'll be picking up points in the A category as well. I was wrong about being the leader. So here we go, look. This is the front group, in fact. So we have Anderson, Simon Romain, but we do also have DT is up here as well. And DT Danny Thompson, 161 points. So he's a little way off Simon, points-wise, but he's in the mix to get a lovely haul here. We do have another B much further up that I just spotted. Harding and Wyland, they are not registered league riders, but they have over a minute's lead on the main bunch of Bs back here. Let's see if we can try and find the front of the Cs. Here's another very fast bunch flying through here. We've got Jamie Woodward, John Bytheway, Gordon Jackson. Gordon Jackson further off the back, but these three here. So we've got Paul Crocombe, John Bytheway, and Jamie Woodward. That's a fast little trio, crikey. I've got Paul Elliott Kowalczyk showing here. He's distance-wise, he's further back. I think he's been struggling actually. I don't know if it's technical or physical health. Anyway, I'm going to try and find the head of the C category if I can, see what's going on there. Right, I saw my name come up, but I'm pretty sure it's not me. Alright, El Parigis. Where are you in the grand scheme of things, Mr. Parigis? Could well be leading it here in the C's. Linus is... he's quite a way down on the league table, but that's because he's hardly done any races. In fact, he's done 1, but he picked up 27 points in that race, so he's obviously a strong rider. But this could well be the leader of the C category we're looking at here. Currently on 27 points, and I mean, a good result here will put him basically up with me. And I've done however many races, 9 races, and Linus will have done 2, and will be basically level points with me if he wins this one, which is a bit of a reality check for me. So let me just, right, so I'll carry on flicking down. So in terms of the C's, Linus has got a 2-minute lead over Mr. Coveney here. Oh, I hope he wants to jump up again. Come on then. I have to keep moving things around when you jump up. So if you're going to get up, just stay up. Oh no, I know what it is. He wants his breakfast. He wants a brekkie. Right, excuse me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? I was looking for Mr. Coveney in the league table, but I got a feeling he's one of the regulars but unregistered. Yeah, I can't see him there in the C category, so points-wise he's no threat to Linus, who is 46 seconds up the road. DKaz, however, who I just saw, there we go. DKaz Darren Kearney is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in the league at the moment, and unless the likes of Dave Crook, Kevin Wiltshire, Keith Denton, Mick Capel, Craig Sibbald, unless they're ahead of him on course, he looks like he's going to be making up a real good chunk of points here. I could see there is Mick Capel. He's 22 seconds behind Darren at the moment. Here's the some of the other contenders in the C category. Tor Arne Martinussen, there's Hans Petter Summerson, so he is in the race for the Bs. I couldn't see how many B riders there were, but it looks like this could be a decent chunk of points for Hans as well, along with Paul Sturgis. Here is the Denton duo, with Keith having the upper hand just at the moment. Catherine just 2 seconds behind. And there is Kevin Wiltshire. So these three, Kevin's in second in the league, Keith's in fourth. Catherine actually is a little bit further down, she missed a race. Mick Capel sandwiched in the middle there in third place between Kevin and Keith. And I can't see Dave Crook. Oh yes I can, tell a lie, there is Mr. Crook. Okay, so he's in the top 10 I'd say, so he's in there doing a good job of defending his league position. And he is right with Kevin Wiltshire. No, he's not. That's a complete lie. He's nearly 2 minutes, or a minute and a half behind Kevin Wiltshire. And there is Craig Sibbald as well, who is currently in 5th place in the league. There's Mr. Hal Y with G and Len Capel for company. And Clampy as well. There's some strong rides going on here. Clampy continues to surprise me. Right, anyway, let's try and get back to our featured rider, Mr. Martijn Prop. Let's just give Jane a ride on. And there is Mr. Prop. Okay, so he now, this is what I mean about it closing back up again. If you remember, I think he was nearly a minute behind Alan Hughes because of the way they both came over the top of the Leith Hill climb. Now on, is this Box Hill? I can't really, so let's try and get, yeah, this looks like Box Hill to me. He's now on the wheel of Alan Hughes and Anne S again. Great stuff. Ernst Lecky's hanging in there really well, just 20 seconds behind. That gap's not really been going anywhere. Martin Overweg and Mike Berger on at 49 seconds behind. And El Kim, I think it is with this ridiculously long name, at 20. El Knox it might have been. Whoa, what's happened there? Why? Oh, I'd come off it. Whoa, where's everybody gone? Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Ah, the Nudgenator's here. Great to see you, Nadja. And Nadja is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in the D category. And I tell you what, she could be on for some serious points here because I've not seen Steve Newton or Gordon Sloan. I think she's behind Ernst Leckies and that little bunch from Mike Berger on. But I still think she could be picking up a really decent chunk of points. Right, anyway, I was trying to keep an eye. Here we go. All right, okay, so here we go. Oh, Gordon Sloan is in there. Of course he is. I mentioned him earlier. What am I talking about? There is Gordon. I'm going to give you a ride on, despite the fact that obviously you should be on trial for manslaughter. Whereas Mr. Prop, there he is. Okay, so let's get back to this. Oh, I'm going to have to get up again because Obi wants to go outside now. Right, what have I missed? They're still glued together. I'd say they're closing in. Again, it might be because of the nature of the course, but it looks like they're closing in on... Is that Maria or Paul? Let's have a look up ahead. Maria Trilk and Jane Coates. Just 36 seconds ahead of the Prop S Hughes trio. Oh, who's the fourth rider in there? That's very rude of me. Oh, A Pala. Ah, he wants to come back in now. What is... Oh. So that was some descent for the prop monster. He's now pulled out 32 seconds over A Pala, 39 over Alan Hughes, and 1 minute 20 over Ann S. Good job, man. And he's actually now just 9 seconds behind Maria Trilk, 20 seconds behind Jane. If he can move up to those guys, grab a wheel, he could make that advantage stick. And he's doing a good job here. Mid 2s watts per kilogram on an 8% climb, coming up to Maria. There we go, contact made. Great stuff, Martin. Latching onto Maria's wheel and just going straight through. Obviously feeling comfortable, not wanting to get caught in any kind of sticky draft, just try and keep the power going. Next up the road, Jane Coates. Right, once again, the ups and downs meant those gaps are really deceptive. Jane's now absolutely flying away, 48 seconds. So I'm assuming she's come over the top of a crest. And Alan Hughes and S right back in Martin's wheel. Well, I say right back, they're 5 and 8 seconds respectively. And Slecky's just 19 seconds behind. So it's all compressing once again. So here we go, with Martin now having got over the top of whatever that little climb was. He will now stretch right back out. There you go, 18, 19, this is gapped over Alan Hughes, 20 seconds, 21, 22. This is quite a short descent, so any second now, it's all going to bunch back up again. I feel I'm preaching to the choir, you all know this. Although I do make the assumption with every one of these videos that I'm only ever speaking to regular Swift racers, and more particularly the WKGers. But we do have new viewers with every video, so I think I should explain Zwift from time to time to anybody that's not that familiar with it. Can't bother to do it now because it's difficult to breathe and talk at the same time, so I'll save that for another video. I'm just going to quickly try and jump back to LeCue, because I've got a feeling he will be very close to completing if he hasn't already. Oh, there we go. Still absolutely flying away in the lead. He's got 1 minute lead over Zaremba in second place. Is this banner that we're about to come to, is that the end? Honestly, I really should check the distances better on these. Now, I've got a feeling, does it finish at the top of Box Hill, this race? No, clearly not. Actually, I'm seeing a load of other racers from another event here, which I shouldn't be. So maybe this race has finished. I think it has. I think LeCue's just carrying on riding. I think he's won. Yeah, look, we're getting there's loads of other riders that aren't in the event. So right, I need to go back to me to get back into the event. Okay, so right. Sorry for the lack of fanfare, but it looks like LeCue has actually finished and won that race. So let's try and see what we've got up the front. So these look like the next finishers to me. Evelyn Ayres and G. Wyland. Both doing 7 watts per kilogram. Looks like Wyland. Oh, Linares has held on, I think, just to the line. Great stuff. Oh, balls. I've got to remember to click away before so I don't get dumped out of the module. Right, let's try and find the next group up. Harding's at 43.5 kilometres. So I'm going to guess that D. Harding here is going to be our next rider to finish. So apologies, all the time I was watching LeCue descend down the other side, I missed probably 4 or 5 riders coming across the line. And coming round to the finish and KOM banner, D. Harding, congratulations, well done. Next up it looks like is R. Jarvis. Yeah, there we go, R. Jarvis coming up to the banner, well done. Got a comfortable 33 seconds over Maxim Golev, who is our next rider. I was going to say Maxim's got a comfortable lead over Brian Roden, but it's 11 seconds, but it does look like, yeah, the banner's there. That should be enough. Well done, Maxim. Let's flip back to Brian before we lose touch with the module. Yeah, I can see Maxim going through the banner just ahead. Here is Brian Roden. He actually has only got a couple of seconds over DT. Let's have a look at this one, see who nips it. Brian manages to take it, just, yes. But well done, DT, great chase. Sorry I didn't get to see you as well. So next up we have Simon Romain with 37 second lead over Anderson. Let's see if we can see Anderson in the background. No, too far away. There we go, Simon Romain coming up to the line, great stuff. Oops, no, gone to the wrong person. I need Jay Anderson, there we go. And behind, following Anderson will be Kobayashi. Well done, Anderson. Under the banner is Kobayashi. I think the biggest fight for the line we're going to have so far, apart from the one with DT and Brian Roden, who are in different categories, looks like it's going to be John By the Way, Paul Crocombe, P. Younghusband. All look pretty locked together, about 1.5 minutes behind Kobayashi here. But before Kobayashi, who lights it up, 15 watts per kilogram, good stuff. Well done, under the banner. Next up we have Giles Blundred. Here we go, Giles Blundred up to the banner, great stuff. And now let's quickly jump back to Paul Crocombe, who has Younghusband, by the way, charging down behind him. Is he going to make it to the line? I tell you what, it's looking touch and go. Looks like Younghusband might nick this. No, maybe not. Paul's managed to dig in with some really good power there. That should be enough. Yeah, that's going to be enough to see him through. So well done, Paul. There is Younghusband. Well done. And 11 seconds further back, John By the Way. So that obviously, that group split up a little bit earlier than I was expecting. And yeah, I was thinking all 3 of them were going to come to the line together, but well done. Well done, John. And then we have F. Lavelle with a 15-second gap over Jay and Jamie Crocombe. F. Lavelle coming up to the banner. I'm just keeping an eye on Jay and Jamie Crocombe behind. They were locked together, but Jay put in a really good kick to get about a 3-second gap. Let's just jump back to that now. Well done, F. Lavelle. So here is Jay. There's Jamie Crocombe with an aero boost behind. Don't think it's going to be enough. Closing in on the line now. Jay at 3.7, Jamie at 4, Jay at 6.7. Yeah, he's got that one covered. Okay, so Juan's coming up to the line now. Closest threat is Jean-David Parry just behind him. But it's 5 seconds, 4 seconds, so I don't think he's going to get there. Let's jump back now. Here is Jean-David. Great stuff, man. And behind, next up, Jason, the master knitter, creator of these magnificent head garments. Great stuff, Jason. Great stuff, Jason. Right, I'm going to click away so I don't lose the module. Ivacan is next up. Ivakin. Coming up to the banner. Good stuff. Then we have Tony Kirkhaug with a 1 minute lead over Gordon Jackson, so he should be pretty safe. And up to the banner. Well done, Tony. And here is Mr. Jackson, rocking a very fetching Christmas jersey that actually looks like one that Jason Masterman could have knitted. Looks very nice. And 23 seconds behind Gordon is who I think is going to be the winner of the C category, Linus Parigis. There we go. Well done, Mr. Jackson. Over the line. And here is, like I say, who I believe to be the leader in the C category. Jamie Woodward's only 5 seconds behind. Obviously different categories, but I'm pretty sure Linus will want to hold Jamie off if he can. Right up to the line. Jamie's so close, but Linus just holds on. Well done, Linus. Well done, Jamie. So who's up next? M. Cope from Bolt Racing Team, I believe, is next to hit the finish banner. Well done. And then we have, I'll jump back quickly to Oliver Higby, who's got Darren Kearney right on him. Who's going to take this one? I have no idea. I think Darren might have done it. I'm not absolutely sure, but I think Darren might have done it. Now we've got Padron Degas coming up. Oh, I can't keep up with this now. Well done, Padron. Hits the line. I think I'm doing this in order. Rob Coveney, I believe. I'm hoping I've not missed anyone. There was quite a quick, compressed gaggle of riders there. Well done, Rob. Then we go back a couple of minutes now to Mick Capel. Gives me a chance to get my breath back. Okay, Mick coming up to the banner now. It looked like he was going to be under pressure from D. Joseph behind, but the little descent came to Mick's rescue there, and he managed to stretch things out again. So this will be a comfortable position for Mick. Well done, buddy. Good race. Let's jump straight back to D. Joseph, who has also a very comfortable lead of just under a minute over Paul Sturgis. But that looks like it could be an interesting battle between Paul Sturgis and Keith the Hoff Denton behind, so I look forward to having a look at that one in a moment. But first we will see Mr. Joseph over the line. Great stuff, dude. And here we are. Keith the Hoff Denton, Paul, I don't know you well enough to give you a nickname, Sturgis. Is this going to be a last minute sprint from anyone? Yeah, Paul up in the 8s, orange numbers, he's got that one covered. Great stuff. Well done, Paul. Well done, Keith. Let's jump straight away to David Green, who's next up, just 16 seconds behind Keith. Coming to the line. Great stuff. Well done, David. And we quickly jump back to the other Denton, Catherine Catnav Denton. And she's rounding that final sweeper. There's the banner. Beautiful view over the Surrey Hills. Up to the line. Well done, Catherine. Next up we have H. Jespers. Just a handful of seconds behind. Let's quickly jump back. Well done, H. Jespers. Excuse me. Then we have Sandy Legg, who has a 7-second gap over Kevin Wilshire. It looks, it's going to be just enough to stay ahead. And here is Kevin. Good job, man, over the line. God, they're coming in thick and fast now. Next up we have C Boostred. Right, here comes C Boostred up to the line. Congratulations, 44.5 kilometers done. Well done. Boom. Back to Mr. Crook, current leader in the C category. Trying to work out what time this would be for Dave. I think it's at about 10 o'clock at night if I've done my conversion correct. So it's slightly more appealing than the 4 o'clock in the morning for the Americans. But still, you're going to struggle. If I were you and I did a race at 10 o'clock at night, I would struggle to get any kind of sleep after that. So good job, Dave. He has a nice minute and a half gap ahead of Paul Trilk, so we can take a nice gentle roll up to the banner here. And there we go. Great stuff, Dave. Congratulations. And here is Mr. Trilk. Oh, he does wear the pink cap as well. So my method of differentiating him from Mrs. Trilk is flawed. So Paul's not actually very comfortable in this position at all. Still got some distance to go, and he has Brian Donnelly just behind him at 6 seconds, and G at 7, L Vanderbroek at 8, Craig Sibbald at 16, Len Capel at 25, and Clampy at 30. So it's going to be some quick fire stuff. I'll do my best to keep up with it all as you all come over the line. I'll be surprised if it ends up with everybody in those positions. This descent is nice though for Paul, so this will get him back a little bit of time, hopefully for his sake, to roll into the flat towards the banner with a healthy lead. There we go, yeah, up to 27 seconds over G now. So this should be good enough for Paul to hold that position. Well done, buddy. And there we go. Great stuff. Well done, Paul. Rolling up to the banner. Then we jump back to this little scrap. Brian Donnelly. He's still got G on his wheel. I want to hope for his sake that that's not G as in Geraint Thomas. But looks like he's going to hold it off. He does. Well done, Brian. Well done, G. Then we jump straight back to Vanderbroek. Well done. Then we have a little bit of a gap now. Back to Craig Sibbald. There we go. Craig comfortably over the line. Congratulations. Next up, Mr. Capel Senior. We've seen Capel Junior come over already, I believe. There we go. Clampy closing in from behind, but not enough. Len takes the line. Great stuff, Len. Here is Clampy, 5.5 watts per kilogram. Great show. Good job, man. Over the line. Next up, we have I Am Gyurt. Good job. And then I jump straight away to T Brown, which gives me a couple of minutes once again to catch my breath. Right, this is an interesting little battle here. We have T Brown and Hal Y coming up to the line. Hal's just rolled ahead. T now just come back. I'm going to have to get down to this view here, just try and keep a proper eye on this one. Last couple of 100 metres, Hal probably very wisely just dropping back into the wheel of T Brown here. Use that draft until the last possible moment. And here we go, 5 watts per kilogram. Hal Y lighting up. T Brown 5.8 with the response. He's coming back. 8.2 for Brown. Don't think he's got any more than that. Is it going to be enough? No, Hal's up in the 7s. T Brown in the 9s. I don't know where this is going, but I think Hal's going to hold on. I think Hal just held on. Great stuff, man. Right, next up. Great riding, both of you guys. Next up, Ian Elston. Not quite as frantic. He's got a minute and 11. Excuse me, a minute and 11 seconds. Made that a minute and 17 seconds back. He's still going to put the kick in though. 7.5 watts per kilogram. 8 watts per kilogram. Brilliant stuff. So sorry for all the coughing and spluttering and sniffing. It's not pleasant. Well done, Ian Elston, up to the banner. Great stuff. Then we have F. Mancy. Oh, Mike Pickering in F. Mancy's wheel. So this could be another close finish. Mike putting out similar power. If Mansi can get over this little ridge and use that descent, that could be his saving grace. Yeah, it looks like he's done just that. Managed to get just a couple of seconds coming over the top, which has turned into 4, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. But Mike putting out some serious power, so it may be he gets a really good slingshot when he hits the bottom and it levels off. Staying at 6 seconds at the moment. Let's keep an eye on the rear view mirror. Yeah, I think Mansi's got this covered. Back to 4 seconds though. How long we got? Only about 100 meters, if that. Mike putting in a really good dig. Still 4 seconds behind. Stretched out to 5. I think, yeah, it looks like Mansi's got this covered. Mike's backed off on the power a little bit. 6 seconds back. Yeah, well done. There we go. Well done, Mansi. Up to the line. There's Mike Pickering coming up to the line. Good job, dude. And then we jump back to Mr. Dave Harmsworth. He's got a 24-second lead over whoever that is behind. Who is it? I think it's Simon Copping. And I would be right. Looking just a little bit further down the table, our featured rider, Mr. Martijn Prop. He's still, well, it looks like he has managed to overhaul Jane Coates, that's some feat. He's pulled away from Alan Hughes and Anne S. And it looks like he is very close to Gordon Sloan. So that could be an interesting battle up to the line. But before that, Mr. Dave Harmsworth, superb job. Well done, my friend. Up and under the banner. Then we have Mr. Copping. Here we go. Well done, Scopping. Great ride. And let's flick back to A Pala, who was also embroiled in a battle with Martijn Prop at one point. Stretched his legs a little bit, and I think, again, with this little descent coming up, this will be enough to fend off the danger from behind, which looks like is Henriksen and Lawrence are the main threats. You can see them just lurking in the background there. But Pala, or Paya, Italian, so if that was Spanish, that would be Paya, but in Italian, I'm not sure. I'm going to stick with Pala. Over the top, 12-second gap now, stretching out, 13, 14, 16, 17, yeah. Got this one covered. Well done, A Pala. Now, can Andrew Lawrence do anything about G. Henriksen in front of him? It's looking like that gap is pretty stable, to be honest. Oh, coming down a little bit, maybe. Right, well done, A Pala. Up to the banner. Good stuff. Right. G. Henriksen. Andrew Lawrence right behind. 4 seconds. They've done the little drop off. They're coming right up to the line, but Henriksen at 5 watts per kilogram. Got that covered. Yep, there we go. Good stuff, Henriksen. Well done, Andrew. Up to the banner. Great ride. Now we flick back to Mr. Sloan, the person responsible for my current predicament. I joke, of course, Gordon. It was great fun racing with you. He's coming up to the line. I thought Martin was closer than that, actually, so I must have just been misreading the timings. But well done, Gordon. Up to the line to finish the race, and Martijn Prop now is about 20 seconds behind our featured rider. Excellent job, Martin. Massive haul of points. I think Gordon might actually have ended up taking the win then in the D category, so super congratulations to you. And Martin over the line, great stuff. Here comes Jane, bouncing away on the pedals, Contador style. I do like those shoes. I don't think I've seen those in the shop. I have to go and check those out. Now, Jane and Anne S, I think, are friends in real life, so a little bit of a personal battle going on here. Jane with the upper hand at the moment by 29 seconds. There we go, rolling around the final bend, up to the banner. Great job, Jane. Race done. And here comes Anne next up. And as the weather turns more British on Zwift, Anne S rolls up to the banner. Great stuff. Next up we have Mr. Ernst Leckies. Just a handful of seconds behind. Great ride, Ernst. Up to the line, just pipping Alan Hughes, who rolls over now. Great stuff, guys. Then we have Kay Taylor with Martin Overweg just 29 seconds behind. But that's going to quickly grow because Kay Taylor has just come over that little bridge. And off he goes. Martin Overweg and Paul Trilk locked together. Sorry, Maria Trilk? Oh, I forget. One of the Trilks. Which one came over the line already? Paul, I think. So Martin Overweg and Maria Trilk locked together just a minute behind Kay Taylor here. Here we go. Past the lookout point. Kay Taylor, congratulations. And here is Mr. Overweg. And there is Mrs. Trilk. So again, getting over to even 1 second. Has now turned to 4 for Martin. 5, pulling over that little bump. It's just a 1 second advantage. Looks like it could be enough to slingshot you to the line. Martin in the 3s, 3 watts per kilogram. Maria staying in the mid 2s. So I think she knows, unless she's got a really explosive sprint in her legs, I think she knows Martin has got this one covered. Well done, Martin. Great stuff. Up to the line. And here comes Maria. Job done. Well done, Maria. Oh, she's wearing a black cap now. Right, let's try and keep that in mind. Maria wears a black cap, Paul wears the pink one. Alright, who have we got here? Okay, this is this ridiculously long name, which I think ends or begins with L. Cox? There we go. L. Cox. I'm not going to say your full name. Well done. Up to the banner. Job done. Next up in 76th position, A. Dossie. 6 seconds back is P. Festi. So let's keep an eye on that. P. Festi putting out more power. P. Festi closing in. Is this going to be a nick on the line? Kind of matching each other a little bit now, but Festi's got the momentum. Oh, Dossie throwing down a feather. Anything that can help, but I think Festi's going to take this one. Matching each other for power again. Dossie with a good little kick. Festi up in the 4s now. Oh, this is tight. This is tight. I think. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Dossie's going to hold this. Dossie all the way to the line. Yeah, well done. Dossie got that. Unlucky Festi. Good ride. And we jump to David Wright. Just 20 seconds further back, which we might be able to see coming around that bend in a second, is Mike Bergeron. There we go. Top of Box Hill, rolling up to the banner, David Wright. Great job, man. Next up, we have, I thought it was Mike Bergeron, but A. Bodius has appeared from nowhere. Great stuff. There is Mike Bergeron just behind. And O. Herculen 7 seconds further back. Oh, now it's night time at the top of Box Hill. You can see the Christmas lights in the trees. That's a nice touch. Thank you, Zwift, for getting within the holiday spirit. There we go. Excuse me. There we go. A. Bodius rocking up to the banner. Great job. 41 seconds back now to O. Herculen. There we go, Herculen up to the line. Sorry, I was a bit distracted by something then. I was looking away. Herculen, well done. Now, Mr. Mike Bergeron. 44.2 kilometres done. Rocking the GCN kit. Rolling up to the line. And boom. Great stuff, man. Job done. Next up. And a little way back, I think it's fair to say. 4 kilometres to be precise. We have M. Cotier. There we go. After a very, very impressive kick over the last 1500 metres or so, Mathieu Cottier up to the banner. Great stuff, buddy. And that leaves everybody's second favourite Zwifter, the Nudginator, doing a cracking job. She is now just a couple of Ks from home, and as always, total determination from the Nudginator. Love it. I've just seen Mr. Cottier there, off to do a 10-kilometre run after that race. Crazy. Looking good so far, nice and steady, rocking up this hill, wearing quite possibly the longest socks I've seen on Zwift, is that? It might just be a deceptive camera. No, they're pretty long. Okay. They're virtually leggings. While we're talking about virtual kit, I might as well mention the in real life kit and a couple of big bits of news. I'll update everyone properly, but for anyone that is watching this, the key bit of news is that we are now not using Atticus as our kit supplier. One very simple reason, and I fully understand it from their point of view, but they won't allow any adjustments to the position or size or colour or nature of their own branding on a kit. And as much as I have no issue with the style of their branding, it compromises the designs of the jersey, of our jerseys, in particular the main jersey, which whoever produces it now needs to produce it exactly as it was. I want it to be a perfect representation of what we already have in real life and what we have in Zwift. So Atticus, their logo is quite big and prominent. Their Atticus custom logo that they were insisting needed to be on the design. So the only way to do it without that on there was to pay a very hefty premium, which again, I completely this isn't a dig at Atticus. I love their stuff. I love what they do. I'd love to have worked with them, but that just doesn't work for us as a team. The second thing is our special edition jersey. While I was lying there feeling incredibly sorry for myself and not really being able to do an awful lot, but try and keep on top of work and doodle on my iPad, I've tweaked the design. Or say tweaked, I've kind of completely redesigned it to make it a lot more special. I liked the previous design a lot. I still really like the previous design, but if we're doing a special edition and it's kind of celebrating 1,000 members, it needed to be more special in my opinion. So we have a new design which I'll put in the group later. I am like super stoked with it. I mean, obviously I designed it, so I'm going to be kind of, slightly biased in my opinion, but I think this looks the absolute dog's nuts. So I'll show you that later. And our new supplier, at the moment, the front runner, for a number of reasons, is Primal. Obviously, they supply kits for a couple of other Zwift teams. They have a very extensive range of items, for example, sort of off-road clothing, arm, leg warmers, long, short, bibs, various different types of jerseys, and they cater for different sort of levels or platforms. So super sprayed on pro level stuff down to much more affordable, almost the kind of stuff you tend to get for sort of charity events and things like that, and everything in between. So having been speaking with a guy at quite a fair bit of length, there is a product range within there that I think is the perfect balance between really lovely quality and the potential to save a few more quid on what we were already hoping to save over the previous Endura prices. So I'm really excited about it. Primal was someone I'd looked at before, but I'd be lying if I wasn't a little bit turned on by the idea of working directly with Atticus, because they're a smaller, it'll be a more personal experience. I'd like to have met the guys and just sort of got more, sort of integrate us as a team with Atticus a little bit. But chatting to the guy at Primal, excellent guy, looks like I'll be able to have very good direct contact with him. And they're a big proven company, so I'm excited about that, and they are incredibly flexible about any of their own branding. They have one requirement, which is their logo needs to appear on there somewhere, but it's pretty unrestricted in terms of size, position, colour and all the rest of it, so it can be incredibly discreetly and sort of complementarily positioned within the designs. So like I say, I'll keep you more updated to everybody that's obviously put their names down as interested in the new kits, and we'll get things moving. Their turnaround is about 8 weeks from the time of completion of the order, so I'll be looking to do that really early in January so that we can make sure we get delivery, in particular before our March meetup in, where are we going? New Forest. So anybody that's joining the New Forest ride, which I'll make more official at some point as well, we'll have our new kits before then, which will be very exciting. So there we go, kit update. While I was waffling about that, Nadia is about to come over the hardest part of the climb and ease her way into that lovely little descent, which will slingshot her to the banner. In fact, Nadia was the perfect segue into talking about the new kit, because she rides for Team Type 1 as well, who have just launched another really nice in real life kit, which can be bought. So anybody that's interested in that, go and check out the Team Type 1 group. There's loads of chat about it. Looks really good. Obviously don't spend all of your money before buying your WKG kits, but if it's going to go somewhere else, I'd like it to go to them. There we go, Nudges over the half bit. She's on 2%. That word was hard, by the way. I think I sort of went ha. 1%, flattening off nicely. Lovely little roll. About 100 metres to go. There we go. There's that view from the top, looking over most of Surrey. It's actually a pretty good representation there. It is a beautiful view from up there in real life. There we go, past the lookout point, up to the banner, and boom, we are done. Well done, Nadia. Fantastic effort, as always. Well done to everybody. That's a tough race, and oh, there we go, Queen of the Mountains for Nadia. Beautiful stuff. And Nadia arrives at the coffee shop. Perfect time to go and get a piece of their really lovely bread pudding and a nice espresso. That's it. I think we're done. Thank you all so much for riding. I'm really impressed by the turnout. That's really good considering it was an awkward time and day for a lot. Excellent to see so many of you here. Thank you for racing. Thank you for watching. Look out for the updates. Please remember to like and subscribe. Please ignore the barking dog. He's about to be taken for his walk. Hang on, I'll wait for him to stop. Right, I think he stopped. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will try and do... It's unlikely I'm going to be able to do a What's Happened tomorrow night. And I can't guarantee how quickly I'll get this edited and uploaded, because I think it's going to be a big one. But I'll definitely try and do some kind of live stream or video between now and Christmas. But if I don't, have a fantastic Christmas break, everybody. Plenty of lovely food and drink and time with family and friends. Have a fabulous new year, although I'm sure I'll speak to most, if not all of you before then. And yeah, thank you all so much for sticking around in this wonderful group and watching these vlogs and supporting the channel. Your wonderful gifts. I could go on forever, so this is why I'm going to try and do a separate video. So yes, thank you everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you soon.